And hopefully. Yes! Okay. Oh my gosh. It is starting to push the live stream out. Can you see any of the video?
Ooh, you just disappeared.
What is going on with the internet today? Good Lord, this is ridiculous.
Is there a new YouTube link or is it the same link?
It's the same. If they just go, oh, there we go. Okay, now we're back on the front page. All right. So, okay. Who is still here?
Anybody's still there?
Right?
Oh, there it is live. Okay.
Exactly. It's live. And can we hear it now?
I think it closed the old video out and just left
Yes.
everybody sitting there on the dead video.
Yeah, because why wouldn't it? Why should it know to? Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Can we hear ourselves now?
Hello.
Maybe. Hello. Hello. Hello.
How come can we hear it? Wow. This is ridiculous. I don't think we can hear on YouTube. Why is it doing this? Lord, why are you doing this? Let's see. No, we can't hear anything on it. What? Okay. Hang on. Let's see if that works. Can anybody hear us? Is anybody there? Is there anybody out there? Mark, can you hear it at all? On the live stream? Oh. Oh, you know, okay, this is the old one. Okay, we're live though. So can people hear us? Slight echo. Okay. All right. Well, at least we're here, right? You can hear us okay, Tony? All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. You all keep going. Go back. Let's start that one piece. Hi, everybody. No, we're not going all the way back that far. Dean, go ahead and once again recap the damn epic thing for me, and I will go ahead and try to push this back out. Oh, it says no mark. Slight echo. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Why? But why? Oh my goodness. It says no Dean. Sorry. Okay. You know, we may have to go ahead and push then this out. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to chalk this one up to holy crud, what happened here? And I don't. All right, Dean, you go get out of here. Mark and I are going to stay on and try to get it going. All right, you go, buddy. All right, have a good weekend. We will. Yeah, we'll talk to you next week. Okay, all right. Yeah, Tony, you just hang there for a second. Let's. Yeah, but see, bye, Dean. Tony's gone. But hold on a minute. But I don't understand. But this doesn't make any damn sense. Like nothing has changed. It's all the same stuff. You've got to be kidding me. Let me see. Yeah, I know. I can hear you. Let me try one other thing. Let's see. Okay.
How do we download the Epic Game Store on Android? You
have to be in Europe.
Really?
Yeah. you hear me and Mark? Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, this is what sometimes what happens when you're doing live stuff, you know? Oh,
Yep.
it says Marky, he can hear you.
Nice.
Okay. And then, can you hear? Can you hear Chris? I still have echo.
Oh.
Why? Yeah, probably. Where's this desktop microphone? Can you still hear me, Mark? Yes, see, you can't hear me when I do that. And now it says Mark is gone again. Are you gone, Mark? Oh. Okay. All right. Oh, but now they say they can't hear you. Let's see. Can you hear him, Tony? Who, me or Tony? Oh, can't hear you now. No. What the hell happened?
Oh yeah, I am gone on the YouTube feed.
It doesn't make any sense. But I keep echoing.
I'm just gonna get on Zoom. I give up.
Yeah, but this is ridiculous. We had it working perfectly.
I know. Oh God.
Okay, now it says that you're back, but they still hear me.
Oh, all right.
So you're back, Mark. Hey, Tony, how are you? I wonder why it's doing. Oh, you know why? Tony, do you hear me echoing anymore? Do you hear me echoing anymore, Tony? Me echoing anymore. No, he doesn't, and I figured it out because this stupid interface is broken. And oh my God, it was literally 1 meter that said master output that was buried underneath all the other meters. No echo. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, you know what? Okay, maybe. All right. You know what? Hey, wait, where is that? Yes. All right, we finally figured it out. Hey, kids, this is why you don't stay up for 27, 28 hours in a row and then come in to do the podcast. It says Mark is muted. You can't be muted.
I don't know.
How about now?
I'm trying to talk. How about now? Can you hear me now? Blah 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 blah.
You can hear Mark? Mark is back.
My back.
How about me? Chris back?
I hear you.
I hear you too. Yes. No echoes? All good.
Don't touch anything. Oh, now he touched something.
I got a better one. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Let's see.
Woo! All right, you keep talking. I'm just going to go push this right back out to LinkedIn too then.
Okay. Oh, God. Good luck. Are you sure?
Yeah, because they're separate from each other. So, that's what they do say, but perhaps not. All right, you go ahead and do that.
God.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, Mark, how are you? Welcome to Boss Rush. This is what is it? Freaking August 16th. Oh my gosh. My apologies. My apologies to everybody. Clearly it's on my side. So Yeah, really sorry about that. Yeah, Mark.
Hi.
Hey, man.
How are you?
Good,
What's
good.
going on? Nice shirt.
Thank you. Yes.
Street Fighter. What am I wearing?
Shuriken. What are you wearing?
Commodore 64.
Yay! Commodore 64. Very good. Well, that's a Sonic ring, but and that's an Atari 2600 Donkey Kong jump. There you go. There's a generic. All right.
No, that's how I feel right there.
Yeah, exactly. Now that's how I feel right there, letting everybody down this
week. Was that like a Yara's Revenge chunk?
This is just an 8-bit sort of explosion. And then and that's a Gorf. A Gorfian. All right. Maybe while I go ahead and just one other thing, why don't you tell the people that have decided to hang around about the Epic deal that was going on?
I wish I'd been paying attention to what Dean said, because obviously I wasn't well enough to know that it's not on my phone.
Oh, well, basically, they went ahead and fired up so basically Epic relaunched their store, right, in Europe, and they were able to put Fortnite and other games back on there. And then you were saying, how do we, now on iOS. So the question is, how do we?
I thought he was talking about Android. I thought he was saying something about making it easier to do on Android as well, which I apparently wasn't completely listening to, because there's no change and no Epic Game Store on Android, or I'm accessing it wrong, or, all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you want to know what's going on with Epic and the EU, go ahead and head on over to GameSpeed and read Dean's stuff.
Yeah. I got distracted because there's this thing about Diablo being playable on the web. And you know how I am about getting old games to work on the web.
Oh, hell yeah. Me too.
Just get super excited about that. But then I went and clicked on it to go try it and realized it was bringing me to GitHub. So that was no good. Maybe I see. Oh, wait. Nope. You know what? I was wrong. There is actually a link. Oh my God. It works. Where's this? Okay. Hang on. I'm going to put it in the chat. Bam.
All right. I'm going to go ahead.
Oh, it works. It totally works. Oh, that's the coolest. I'm going to go back and play that again later. Wow. So that's Diablo 1 running on the web.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Very, very nice.
I think they just compiled it down into WebAssembly. I mean, just compiled it down into WebAssembly, as if that just works.
Yeah. Well, you and I have a little experience actually doing some of that work together. But the thing is, when you get it done right, it does work.
It does.
I mean, awesome. Well, of course, that sentence made no sense, because, of course, if you did something right, it would work, like for anything. So, folks, like I said, I am really, really short on sleep right now.
So tell us, where were you on the West Coast? Were you doing something fun and exciting?
No. Well, I was out for internal meetings and all this stuff,
in California.
Yeah, out in California. Yay! I'm going ahead and pushing this live right now back over to LinkedIn, so hopefully people will go ahead and pop back up. And tell us about this. What is? Tell us about Diablo and the web. So
this is Ars Technical article that I stumbled across. Just talked about somebody has the original. Okay, I guess I could read it. All I did was click on it. Yeah. My understanding is they just ported it over using WebAssembly. So they recompiled the original code. I don't know. Is the original Diablo code up? Oh, it is. Look at that. Okay. So they recompiled it in WebAssembly, and you can now play it in your browser. It'll probably work better on Chrome than it will in Firefox, because the WebAssembly implementation is better in Chrome. At least traditionally it has been.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. This world is interesting to me, just because I keep thinking of porting a bunch of old learning games over to WebAssembly. So I'm working on something right now. We'll see if it ever sees the light of day, but if you got old learning games, why not put them on the web?
Very cool. Yeah, I'll go ahead and see if I can pop that up in the browser while we are live and make that work. So you said, let's see, you had a link. Where did you post the link, buddy?
YouTube. I put it in the YouTube chat.
I think you're on the wrong. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not showing up there.
Your machine today, dude.
It's a browser.
I know it should work. I posted it. Did it not come through? Oh my god.
No, it didn't. It didn't. Maybe you posted it to the old chat feed.
No, it's just you and I there. I can look. It's a screenshot I can share with you.
Oh, wait a minute. Which one did you put it in? Did you put it in? Did you happen to put it in? No, you didn't. No, don't share a screenshot. Just go ahead and put it back there.
I gotta cut and paste. Cut, paste.
Here it is. Diablo for play shareware. All right, I got it. Woo!
I don't know what we're doing today.
Yeah. Hey, you know what we're doing?
What are exciting things.
We are just messing about. That's all we're doing today. We are just messing about here because somehow I managed to forget how to use a computer today. And my mixer completely blew up here and all of that stupid nonsense. So, yeah.
Did you hear about Adam Boyes?
I did hear about Adam Boyes. Yeah. I loved the post that he made. And, and he's like... what he said, this is the longest he's ever stayed in one place.
I can't believe it was 8 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I feel like it's been a long, yeah.
I think so many people got to know him because of the share, the PlayStation share video that he and don't you remember this? Like when they were talking about when the Xbox One was launching in the PlayStation 4, and there was all this crazy stuff about, if you want to share, a game on the Xbox, it was the Xbox One. You had to go to GameStop, and then they would remove the key from your account, and then you could trade the disc in, and then that disc could then be resold and would get rekeyed. And so they made all of this announcement, and then Sony, it was Shuey and Adam went over to a corner at E3 and they produced this video that popped up immediately from Sony that said, sharing games on the PlayStation 4. Step 1, get the game. Step 2, and they just hand it to each other. And Adam looks at the camera and goes, thanks. It just says PlayStation, like no friction. Share games the way you used to share games. Damn it.
That's the PlayStation I miss. I want more of that PlayStation.
Yeah, I got you.
That's hilarious. Yeah, a 20-second video that's 20 million views.
Right. Exactly right. Oh boy. So yeah. We'll go ahead and pop that up too. But I also want to make sure I can get this. Get Firefox up here so we can go check out a little bit of this Diablo. Let me go ahead and transition over there. Woo! Yeah, there we go. And that is Diablo shareware. Can you hear that, Mark?
Yep. Diablo shareware. Look at that.
Pretty.
Yeah. Nice. I see it.
Warrior. Here we go. Enter name. That is always the name you use. Check it out. You know what the saddest part, though, is when we see cool stuff like this happen, and then you have people go, oh, yeah, but Diablo is so old. It's like, yeah, but it's still a great game.
It is.
You don't go and play Tetris again and then go, yeah, but Tetris is so old. No, Tetris is just a great game.
Why hasn't somebody made this with ray tracing?
Ray trace Tetris? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Coming soon.
Oh, it's not available in the shareware version.
So you have to have the MP2 file.
I guess what we need is to hook it into an AI chat system. Now that it's
calling OpenAI.
Stay a while and listen.
Talking to Kane is not available. Stay a while, stay forever. What game?
Oh, what's mission? What? Impossible mission.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
Good job. Good job.
What other exciting things happened? So I'm like looking through exciting things. Carol G is going to be the music person for Fortnite Festival Season 5, which is cool because I think Carol G is awesome. Carol G. Hello?
Yeah.
Carol G. Do you know who Carol G is?
Keep going.
Kids are all cool with it these days.
Oh.
I heard her on a EDM video with
Got all that Riz music.
Yeah, so.
Is that what the kids say?
I don't know. I don't pretend to be a kid anymore.
Me either. Me either.
I don't know any of
It's all gotten very difficult now.
What other exciting things? All my tabs are AI. I apologize. It's just where I am. You know what's exciting? I just bought some more memory. That's what's exciting.
And what did you buy more memory for?
Any impact? I bought more memory because I am attempting to install the Flux
capacitor
LLM locally. Flux capacitor and drop back in time, and I need more memory for that.
Oh.
No, I'm trying to get Flux to work more efficiently. I think that there might be a memory leak. I don't know. So my solution, instead of solving the memory leak, was to buy more memory. Because that's where I'm running it in the Windows subsystem for Linux on Windows 11, which generally is great. But I noticed it was generating 2 images and then crashing.
Right.
And that made me think this. Maybe I can generate 4 now instead. We'll see.
What are you doing, man?
I'm just having fun. Yeah, I'm having fun. Did you see this? Here's a good article. Hackaday article about learning how to write an autopilot for lunar lander.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you in the feed here in the video chat, in our video chat.
Okay.
So you can take a look at it.
I definitely want to do that.
Copy it over here into the YouTube chat.
Yes. Okay.
So this is pretty cool. So learning a little bit about how AI, not necessarily generative AI, works, but like you're writing an autopilot and you're using lunar lander to kind of learn how that works, which I think is super cool. That's a great idea.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah. So listen, since it's a small group here today, because I completely, again, blew up my system. I'm so mad at myself. I'm softening my stance more around AI. I mean, look, the reality is it's not going away, right? It's here. These are the tools that we have. So best to understand how to use them for the things that we want to go ahead and do, right? And then figure out how to go and solve for some of the things that we want to improve, right? Transparency, rights issues, those sorts of things. I feel the further I dig into the landscape of stuff, highly focused LLMs that have vetted information that are particular to a literary canon or game lore stuff. That's where I think it's really going to pay dividends in the long run, right? For developers, for content creators, right? It's expensive. It's expensive to do those right now, but the more we do, right? It's economies of scale. The more that all of these cloud providers, everybody doing AI, continue to do this, the cheaper it becomes over time, right? For everybody.
Yeah.
So So I've actually said that what I'm going to take a full work week and just dig into hooking a bunch of tools together and start experimenting around with some ideas that I have about what we can do.
Cool. So you should try to install Flux on your local machine and use the Comfy UI to do that, and just like make it as simple as possible. Follow somebody's flow on the web, and then when you generate images with Flux, push them into Kling.ai, Kling.ai, if I remember correctly, which will let you upload an image, and then it'll generate. Nope, that is apparently the wrong domain name. I apologize. It'll
you
generate
always
a
have
video.
To be careful about typing uncertain URLs.
Yeah, try klingai.com or .org. So it will generate a video based off of an image, and it's super impressive. It's kind of killing it right now. All of a sudden, in the last couple of weeks, you're seeing lots of really interesting videos getting generated, and a lot of them come from Kling. There are other sources too. The Runway video generator is also super good. Yeah, just play with it, and I think I there are ethical issues we have to work through, and I think we need to sort that out, make sure we're happy with how we're creating these models. But like you said, I think one of the really super interesting things is that if you're able to use lots of data to generate a model, but then use your own art assets and train something on what you own the rights to. The way that I think about this is like, so I've trained my model using a dictionary of material, right? A massive dictionary, and what the model has learned from that is how grammar works, some generalized information, how to draw things, just like general things that become useful. And then I can take, like, let's say I want to make a new Diablo, and I have the Diablo art assets.
Right.
And I want to train the model on my art assets and then generate new art assets in the same style. So it can do that, but it's because it has the foundation model there to build off of. If all I had was the art assets from Diablo, it wouldn't have enough information to be able to recreate other things.
Okay, so it's almost like you're obfuscating what the image looks like from from what an image composition is, right?
Yeah.
If I'm thinking about it correctly, even if you had a model that wound up using information that it didn't really understand, they couldn't vet kind of where all the data came from. But like if you're building a grammar model, to your point, it's the rule set underneath that then becomes valuable. So when you build a focused LLM on top, you've had the benefit of understanding grammar and structure and all those other things because of a massive set, right?
Right.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's a really good point, and is divergent from the way I think a lot of people think about LLMs, to say, oh, well, it only does this up because it just keeps getting more of content that it shouldn't have in there. It's like,
right.
No, there's actually a model underneath it that underpins that.
Yeah, I think one of the question marks I have is how much, if what you're trying to get is not the specifics of the material you've been trained on, you've trained the foundation on, but the generalizable information that then you can build other tools off of.
Right.
How much data do you need? Do you really need to be shoving in, trillions and trillions of bytes? Or can you get a more ethically sourced data set that's 10 billion bytes or something that you feel more comfortable about? And then you get the foundations and you can move forward from there. I think it's an open question.
Yeah. I was reading an article yesterday that about how OpenAI originally got data, and it was a conversation that they were having with somebody who was doing like outsourcing of engineers and stuff. They're like, no, we don't want people, we want their data. And right. And I was like, oh, I mean, when you peel that back, I get it's like trying to go forward and build these things, but it's the unintended consequences, right? So it's funny. One of my favorite podcasts is Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. And they just had the Beastie Boys on, Mike D, right, and Ad Rock, which, nice. I mean, it really brought me to tears because they're my favorite band and he's my favorite podcaster, And I'm like, oh, my God, I would love to have been in the room. But anyway, I was watching an old one with Patton Oswalt, and they were talking about AI and everything. And Patton was like, yeah, it's kind of like, when you invented, when the axe was invented. And it's like, oh, yeah, we invented saying, look, it can chop wood. And then it's like, then somebody dropped it on their foot and cut their foot. Oh, that unintended consequence. Oh, but then I could also use this to kill that person, right? Intentional malice. And he's like, and that's the way it always goes. Oh, look, we built this really cool thing. Look what we can do. Oh, this accidentally did this. Oh, I could also use it for damage, right? And it's the way those things go. So we're not quite... We're in between that first and second stage. The goal is, how do we minimize the impact of the third stage? Right?
Well, I mean, you tend to think of technologies as being able to be used for good and for evil, right?
Right.
But do you want to ban the good things because of the potential of bad things?
No,
in some cases you might. actually.
But that always reminds me of the article that Bill Joy wrote in Wired years ago, right? Called "Why the Future Doesn't Need Us." And I don't know if you ever read it, the full Wired piece. And he goes in to talk about, should we be building some of the things that we think we can build? And what was super interesting, and if I'm remembering this correctly, when you read like the first part of this page, he's going through like all this information. You kind of find yourself going, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then when you turn the page, it's like, that was directly out of the Unabomber manifesto. And they're like, yes, he was, a terrible human being, everything. But the things he was worried about, right, is how do we place ethics and the boundaries of those ethics around the technologies that we create, right?
Yeah.
And somebody's always going to find a way to do something bad with any, technology or invention, right? That come from humans. But to your point, how do we then put the right pieces in place to best protect ourselves and use it for as much good as possible?
Yeah. So I guess where I've wound up with AI, everybody's, in different positions. But where I wound up really was maybe more of the technologist side of the equation, that we should run forward on this and encourage more innovation at the get-go, and then try to fix the problems as we go along, as opposed to get upset about the hype and try to put up walls to keep us from doing bad things.
Yes.
And other people feel the other way, and that's fine. Like, we'll find a middle ground. We'll work this out together, right?
I would say that my annoyance comes from not just with AI and stuff, just comes from, people that don't know what they're saying coming, going, oh, it's going to do all this. And then you get this massive momentum with other people that only see it as land grab or money versus stop doing this. Like, one of the things that's always, I love that we're having this conversation. We're having it publicly with our friends. Holly also went ahead and posted up here. And thank you, Holly. Posted up here that original article about Bill Joy was written in 2000. Nice. In 2000, almost quarter of a century ago.
Don't say it like that.
I know, right? I know, a quarter of a century. No, I think that's always the stuff that just bothers me in general. It's because then it ruins, it poisons the well for everybody, when that happens, right? That's the kind of stuff that sets us back in any technology. But you're always going to have people, grifting. I mean, there's that meme out there of, all right, I stopped being an expert in Web3, and now I'm an expert in AI. It's
AI.
like,
I know, it's true. It really is what happened. So many crypto companies suddenly had .ai domain names.
Oh, my goodness gracious. But hey, what I'd love to do is take that recommendation. Maybe it would be really cool if you wouldn't mind just kind of putting together, hey, if you want to try this stuff for yourself, these are the the 4 or 5 things you should do. Like, maybe just put together like a paragraph or two that we could share with people. I think that'd be a great post on LinkedIn.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what other news has been popping up this week? Oh, I know that we're over time, but I've got time to hang out and do this for a bit if you do.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to hang out with us.
Yeah, we are.
I've got nothing.
The only thing I'm doing today in an hour and a half is I'm going to play through some old Williams arcade games, my favorite ones. Joust, Moon Patrol, Sinistar, Robotron. And I tested them all. They all work, so no breakage.
What are you going to play them on?
I'm going to play them on my system here.
On your PC?
Yes.
Oh, what are you going to use for a controller?
Oh, I'm not in an arcade, so I've got my,
Oh, that's fine. That'll work.
My controller here. Although I did find it like with games like Joust, I have to just keep the controller on the desk and do it flat because you have to be able to double bump, when you're doing all that stuff. So
I was thinking about Robotron in my head. I was like, I'd want to set the controller down too. Like,
no, that's okay. Twin sticks on this one. I was thinking, Maybe I'll play them all on this.
Ooh. Nice.
Aaron Polka said, "Oh yeah, those are great games." I concur.
Except
Absolutely.
I still, it's been what, 30 years, and I still suck at Sinistar just as bad as I did when I was a kid, and I still love it.
Oh, Sinistar still scares the crap out of me. When
so
the
good.
Sinistar comes flying out, beware I live, I hunger.
Right? Yeah.
Run, coward, all of that stuff.
I do.
Do I even have a robot voice? Oh, I don't think I have a robot voice in this set of pads here. I did.
So good.
Well, excuse me.
Right? Not on these pads. Oh yeah, but I suck at Defender.
Oh yeah.
Because those games you had to be pixel accurate, moving, but just flopping around the screen there. Yeah, it was terrible. All right, maybe talk about some other news pieces.
Was there news? I was eyeballing news all week looking for something. You know what I was trying to do was find good news this week, and I failed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was looking and I didn't see anything that popped that I was like, excited to talk about. Which makes me sad. Should I just start do you remember during the pandemic when there was the good news? Who was it? That was that guy.
It was
the Ted Lasso guy, right?
Yeah. No, it wasn't him. It was John Krasinski from The Office. Yeah, whatever.
You're right. Yeah. Some good news, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I need. Biden administration approves $1.6 billion in CHIPS Act grants to Texas Instruments. Good job.
Oh, Texas Instruments. Oh, doesn't that give you old school, back of the neck hair? T.I., yes.
I love it. Yeah, it reminds me of visiting. I don't know why, but it reminds me of visiting Motorola back in the day to talk with him about Code Warrior. And,
oh my God.
The MetroWorks stuff. This is a long time.
You know what we're gonna have to do when we start having these types of discussions? I should have some sort of animated rocking chair thing that we're sitting in.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, back in my day, as I look over at my VCR on the desk next to me, where I'm gonna try and digitize some VHS tapes.
Oh, I've done that not too long ago, actually. That's always a fun exercise. Yeah, I put a bunch of stuff up on my YouTube channel. Of old Sun Microsystems videos, internal videos, and one where, oh my God, I was the very first time I ever did a recorded piece of media, right, for a company. I was a channel sales guy, and they had me sitting at the news desk, and I was doing the internal announcement of the Sunray, which was our thin client product, right? You put the thing there. And I had on that wet, slicked looking George Clooney Caesar cut. And that stuff is out there now forever. Partially because I put it out there. But you know what? You got to take the totality of who you are. You can't parse those things, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But I look at some of it sometimes, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty. How did I get the knot on that tie so small yet so wide?
Oh man!
You remember that era? Big shoulder pads and suits.
Yeah.
Terrible. All right.
I found a weird piece of news. Here's a weird one I just missed until now. There was a Crypto for Harris online event with Mark Cuban, Anthony Scaramucci, and crypto advocates trying to influence the Harris campaign to reset the Democratic policy on crypto. I don't know what to say about that. That's just a strange set of words in one sentence.
That is word soup. Yeah. That is some straight up word soup.
Moving on. There was that.
Yes. There is a good piece of news to talk about.
Yeah.
Krafton acquired hi-fi rush maker Tango Gameworks. The studio.
Oh, that was good news. Right. Yeah. Good call. That's great news. Good to hear.
That truly is. Yeah. Where's my? Yay! They we got them there. That's great. Not that you and I had anything to do with it, but
no, I hadn't heard that news, and who told me it was Sean Layden. who I saw yesterday.
Oh,
She
yeah?
happened to be in Seattle. Yeah, she ran PlayStation for a while.
Yeah. I'm
He's
actually going to
just
have
in
him.
town.
I'm going to actually interview him on my Game Industry Legends
Oh,
series.
you are? You
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a good dude.
He
Yeah,
really
he's
is.
great.
Really
Good to
is.
see him.
Yeah, so that was a good piece of news to see in there. And then there was another one that popped up in here, too. Gamescom will have more than 1,400 exhibitors, up 15% from a year ago.
I'm so sad I'm skipping out on Gamescom and DevCon this year. It was so good last year.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about Gamescom is that there are a lot of regional booths.
Keep talking.
It's not really something that I've seen in conferences so much in the US. But it seems like there are a lot of governments looking to incentivize the sector, and so they're paying for indie game devs in their countries,
right,
for development, and then to come and have the ability to show off their stuff on the floor of Gamescom. And so it's so much fun to just walk around and be like, oh, here's the Netherlands booth. Oh, here's the Poland booth. Here's the Ukraine booth. See, I had such a good time doing that and talking to the people who are looking to incentivize that stuff. And like, how are you running this grant program? Like, yeah, it's more of that. And I wish we had more of that here in the U.S., like between states or
Yeah. I have some really good fond memories of walking the show floor with you at E3, and one of the games that was one of those games that weren't even looking for, but just stumbled upon. That is still one of my favorite games, and it's one of my oldest kids' favorite games is Ribbit King.
Ribbit King.
Yes. Oh. And you and I were walking like past the Nintendo booth, and it was like, what is this Frolf game? And anytime you would, when you would have a good shot, your character would go, oh! You're like, oh! Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was a weird ass game. For those of you that don't know, it is literally a game of golf that you play with a frog that sits on a springboard with a mallet, and you have to kind of use still a golf swing meter and all this other stuff and hit it. But the frog will jump and then hit different obstacles. It is weird and amazing all at the same time. That's a hidden gem on the
weird and amazing.
Yes,
I totally agree. I'm down for weird and amazing. It suddenly reminded me of Masaya Matsuura's list of games that he's worked on, because they're all weird and amazing. From Parappa, Mojib Ribbon.
Yeah, it was. Viv
Major Minors, Majestic March.
Jammer Lammy.
Jammer Lammy. Yeah,
that's right.
God, they're all just great.
I know. And all right, but here's the question: in Parappa the Rapper, what's the best stage?
Oh God, the first stage, because that's the one you see the most, and it gets stuck in your head.
I love the driving one.
I do love the driving one too.
Yeah. Now you know which way to go. Ain't gonna stop us. Here we go. Now switch. Oh, see, now I'm gonna have to go and dig up that music and play it today.
There you go. It's gonna be Williams Games and Parappa the Rapper today.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
One thing I saw this week, there were all the Pixel devices got announced. That was this week, right? Earlier this week, the Pixel 9s, the Pixel 9 Pro, Pixel 9 XL, XL Pro. I've lost track. I think there's 4 of them, and also the Pixel Watch, which is what I was looking for, because I need a watch, because I sport the Charge 5, which I love, but it doesn't have much in the way of smartwatch functionality.
Right.
So Pixel Watch is like the Fitbit hardware jammed into a Google device, and I think the first 2 iterations of it have been mixed reviews. So I'm curious to see how this one looks. What do you have? Do you have an Apple Watch on?
Yep, I have the big one, the
big one.
8 Ultra, whatever it is. Yeah, I love it. But the thing is, how much of the smartness do I use? Not very much. I always had this philosophy around these types of devices, which is I call it like the Palm Pilot problem. You get a Palm Pilot back in the day. For those who don't know, Palm Pilot, it was a PDA. And for those of you that don't know what a PDA is,
sorry,
personal digital assistant. And so I was like, when everybody know that got a Palm Pilot or a handspring or something like that, they went, "Oh, this is amazing! I've got all these apps." and then use it for phone book and calendar. Like just
Right.
those 2 buttons. That's it.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything else, you jammed everything into it, and then 3 months later, you're like, it's just too much friction.
Yeah. You're reminding me of sort of my thoughts on like phone hardware over time, because like we had generations of devices which were like fit for purpose, right? Like the original like
Feature
Nokia
phones.
mobile phone. Yeah, feature phones. They
Right.
did that one thing and they did it really well, and they had physical buttons. And as time's gone on, what we wound up with is like a piece of glass that you poke at that does anything, but you have to poke at a piece of glass. And I'm like, I miss having the buttons. You know, one of the things I just did was I just pulled out my old wired headphones, because the wired headphones have a stop,
a mute
start,
button.
and an up down volume and a mute button. Man, that's so nice to have. I forgot, but then you got to deal with like the tangly cables. But that's it. I'm on the phone now. I like ditched my Bluetooth earbuds. I'm like, forget it.
Oh,
Going back to the cables.
yeah. See, but I'm with you. I'm with you as well. And surprise, surprise, we like things that are tactile.
Yeah, right.
Right. And that has always been my biggest problem with this stuff, especially to play games on them for the most part, is I need buttons and I need to hear them or feel them. You know, haptic does an okay job, but you still don't know where your fingers don't know where the edges are. I think we had this conversation about VR, right? It's the problem with VR. Yes, it can put you in all these spaces, but your brain is pretty good at going, no, I know you're not holding a real golf club. I know you're not, you know, in this environment, you know. It's only exciting like two and a half of your senses, basically, right?
Yeah.
And we can trick it, and we can trick them.
Yeah.
Which is the other problem with it.
And we're all okay with it. Like, I play games on my phone. I play games on my tablet. We're all fine with it. Would I prefer to have a controller? Would I prefer to have physical buttons? Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I can choose, I'm going to choose.
Right. Except that I'm not going ahead and clipping this to this and walking around, right, to play
man,
on
did
it.
that seem like the right answer for a really long time?
It sure did. But that's like device like the Razer Kishi and stuff like that. Those are really good. But then Apple just decided to ditch Lightning, and so now you have this half-step generation of USB-Cs and all these Lightning devices there. And guess what? They don't fit that same controller. Oh my goodness. Well, since Dean's not here, there was a little piece of news on VentureBeat, which was GamesBeat Next will address how gaming can get back to growth. So, you know, the GamesBeat Next Summit was really about forward-thinking stuff. It was about Web3, crypto, you know, AI, a lot of AI stuff.
Yep.
And in the article here was for 17 years, our conferences and community have been about heart and soul of gaming and the technology behind it. Our task is to help educate the leaders and future leaders of the games industry when it comes to creating a sustainable, fair, and fun industry for all who get joy from making games, which I love that whole statement. So they're going to be really leaning into speakers and sessions that talk about how do we grow the industry, which is going to be great. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss it this year. I'll be away on an awesome vacation. Well
deserved. Yep.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. So that was a good piece. Oh, and Neil Stevenson is going to be one of the speakers. Peter Moore. Yeah, he's going to be one of the speakers there. Yeah, which is going to be great. Yeah, it would have been wonderful to see him. I think Amy Hennig, is also going to be there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, who else did they have in there? Dean Takahashi. I don't know who that guy is.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dean. Awesome. All right. What other good bits do we have here before we wrap up?
Oh, I know a good bit. World of Goo 2. That's a good bit. Do you have the audio?
I have some audio.
No. The yay is that clip with the yay.
Oh,
that clip is a World of Goo clip. That one.
Yes.
That's the World of Goo clip.
Yeah.
I always say this in my head every time I hear it. Yeah, so this World of Goo 2 came out for PC and Switch. Not on the consoles, the other consoles yet, which I thought was interesting and curious, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, but Switch and PC. The question mark is, do I want to play it on the Switch with a controller or PC with a mouse? I don't know.
Or PC with a controller.
Or PC with a controller. I kind of feel like it's a mouse game, but it's been, I mean, it was so long ago that I played the original World of Goo. I'm not totally sure. Well, we'll see. But if you haven't played World of Goo, you should go play World of Goo.
Oh, yeah. World of Goo is awesome.
It's great.
Little physics game, and it's about bridge construction in a lot of ways.
It is. Yeah. So it's reminiscent to some of the other bridge construction games, but now,
I actually know of a song, a rap song that is all about bridge construction. Yeah. Let's see if this gets flagged for playing it. I'll find it while we're talking here.
Okay.
Let me see. It is called Floating Bridge.
Floating Bridge. Okay.
All right. Let's see if we can. Let me see if I can
get it to work.
See if I can get that to play here. Can you hear that?
The beam bridge seeming to be the bridge spanner. All manner of
you can't hear that?
Employed under the banner of progress. 85 yards the max. Nobody commits to the bottom.
If you can't hear it, it's by an artist named MC Frontalot. And the lyrics to it say, oh, they're not going to have it there, right? Floating Bridge. Okay. MC Front a lot. One of the godfathers of nerdcore rap. Which, if you don't know what nerdcore rap is, it is exactly what you believe it is. Okay, you ready? The beam bridge seeming to be the ridge spanner, all manner of planks get employed under the banner of progress. 85 yards the max, nobody plummets to the bottom of ravines intact. And so the truss bridge must be seen as an improvement. Cantilever even receiving the translucent inducement to get wrecked high-tech and watch the fourth fall in the drink one should expect. And so you step with the arch bridge, point to every zenith, say that gravity's smart. You settle stones just like a genius, but I've seen this tumble like crumbs from Cookie's lips. The aqueducts no longer seem to irrigate worth spit. The suspension bridge could go like 7,000 feet, but it's 7+1 from here to where I want to be. So I free up the styrofoam peanuts that I've been packing. If I'm lacking in boats, it's because I'm fearful of the kraken. Now I'm stacking little floaters and I'm banding them together. I could travel in this manner over water to wherever. If the bonds hold tight, let's take a hike to Honolulu, and you'll be whistling the praises of the float bridge too. Wow. A rap song about bridge construction and physics.
That's amazing.
Isn't that awesome? That is the core of nerdcore.
Nerdcore.
Yes.
It's definitely got the nerd part.
Oh
when I'm a nerd, so I'm there.
But the line there.
That's amazing.
It can go like 7,000 feet, but it's 7 plus one from here to where I want to be.
Every once in a while, I have this realization, like I do now, where if I listen to the words of songs, I might really enjoy them.
Yes.
But I never do.
But you shared that it's hard for you to actually you hear the words as notation, as notes, right? As part of
the melody,
right?
Yeah, and then it seems like effort to listen to words, and so I generally don't.
Oh no,
that sounds awesome.
Especially, I want to get like the flow of the music through the words, especially because I'm old hip hop and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So the lyrics is the instrument; it's the other voice, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. The distinction is interesting, just because I love like old 8 Mile, like Eminem stuff, because of the rhythm of the words. The words themselves I just kind of ignore. But the creativity and the rhythms is fascinating.
Monica Madrid just popped in the chat and said, "I love hearing Chris rap. It never gets old." Yay!
hilarious.
Thank you, Monica. Love you, miss you too. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, look, we've got probably another. We'll cut it at the top of the hour here. So
Sounds good.
yeah. What last little bits here do we need to discuss? Let me check out some this other site. I can't even think. Like I tell you, my brain is shot. I am literally up for well over a day straight right now. Could not sleep on the plane. What was it? Valve's not so secret game Deadlock is a bold experiment in soft launching. I heard they were doing something else. I just hadn't really had a chance to go ahead and take a look at it.
Did you see Dean's piece about the Sustainable Games Alliance?
Yes, yeah, that is a good piece to bring up. You want to share that?
Yeah. I've got a link. I'm only have the YouTube video open right now. I'll send you the link in our chatty chat. Boop boop.
Okay, and I can repopulate that here for our guests on LinkedIn. I think.
Yeah, I really appreciate that there's been this movement over the past, I don't know, between 5 and 10 years around game industry and climate change, game industry and sustainability, trying to find ways for us to make games and have less of a long-term impact on the planet that we don't intend. And so this is part of that. I've been talking to Jiri, who I think is the founder of this, if I remember correctly. Now I'm looking chairperson and co-founder. Okay, Jiri Kupiainen, whose last name I'm going to butcher because it's Finnish. Yeah, I've been talking to him. I talked to him last year about maybe coming and doing some talks at GDC or something. And I think he's thinking about it again for this coming GDC to just. Every year at GDC now we have a whole bunch of people talking about climate change in games, using games to talk about climate change, like the plastic pollution game from Wilson Center, is an interesting part of all of this sphere. There's the IGDA Climate SIG. Yeah, it's heartening to see like this growing interest in making sure that we do things well for the planet, not just well for ourselves and well for game players.
Agreed. And, you have, and of course, you have a history with this through working with groups like Glass Lab and stuff, Michael John's, doing that work there. I was actually, I don't know if I shared this with you. I was actually asked by Graham Devine to give an award or to announce an award winner for the USCS schools, like end of year games thing.
Awesome.
And there must have been like 80 or 100 people right on this. It wasn't just me. There was a bunch of, us games industry folks that were asked to do this. And as I was flipping through there, it said MJ. And I'm like, that has to be him, but he didn't have a picture up. So I wasn't going to like call it out there, but then it turned out to be him. And I'm like, I wish I would have known. I would have like been like, oh my God, look who's here in the group, for goodness sake, But that's in some ways, those types of things we're trying to explain these big problems. It's like insurance, right? Or a fire extinguisher. Like you never need a fire extinguisher until you need one. Then it's 100%, right? There's no degrees of fireness, right? For a fire extinguisher. It's either on or off. And it's the same thing with, I think, some of the bigger climate issues that we deal with. And it's also because people see these monumental numbers and don't know how to act. Right. Or go, well, it's just one bottle I'm throwing away. Yes, but it's you with 50 million people that are doing it.
Right. It's a crisis of the commons.
Right. And so we have to be able to break it down to demonstrate impact. And one way we can do that is through games. We got to make sure we get the right funding inputs into this that don't expect the same 30x return on the dollar. Because, right. So I'm wondering then if there is incentives that the governments could be leaning into to say that if you're investing here, this is how you're able to kind of offset that from the economics you need to continue running a company or paying developers and stuff,
Yeah, yeah, and there's definitely some of that, and it varies, by country for sure. In the U.S., there have been games funded like continually by Wilson Center for the last 10, 12 years has funded a few games here and there. And the plastic pollution game, I think, is a really good one.
Yeah.
Won some awards at Games for Change. NASA has done some stuff. NOAA's done some stuff. Smithsonian's done some stuff. National Endowment for the Arts, National Endowment for the Humanities and NIH have all funded interesting game-related things, because it is, you are faced with the challenge. Like, you can make a game about this kind of stuff, but then the audience might, if it's completely focused on that topic, you might only reach the audience who's interested in that topic. So you're not really changing hearts and minds.
Right.
So do you instead, it's the alternative is like, do you do like some of other folks have done and like try to put something into Eve or into Borderlands, or where you already have an audience of people there and people are going to encounter this material and learn more about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's effective also, but just in a different way.
You just can't you can't beat people across the head with it, especially when it's coming into an entertainment space. Although games like Beyond Good and Evil, right, dealt with those ecological, and pollution and overconsumption, those types of themes. It wasn't overt. You kind of understood and went, Jupiter and Mars by Tigertron. Right? Same thing, right?
That's great. Yep.
Yeah, which is, if you've never played that game, for those of you listening, it's just so beautiful. James Milkey and James and Sam, right, are the two guys that founded Tigertron. Both of them games industry journalists, and and they also are both DJs. I don't know if you knew that. They're both DJs, and they both work with. They both worked, or at least I know James worked with Q Games and did a lot of work on like Lumines and Child of Eden and those. So it's like all those pieces. Now they have their new VR game that I've been in the beta for coming out. That is, it's a kind of a rhythm game. Dean actually talked about it, and it's on VR, but you're in, out in outer space and all these celestial bodies moving around. It's very trance-like music. It's awesome. But but their stuff is, how do we talk about global warming without talking about global warming? And so the body of their game actually deals with that. It's a beautiful game.
That's great. Oh, that's great. That's good.
Yeah, really, really cool. So I know we're up at the top of the hour, and I'm so sorry again for all of these issues. I got to go make sure that everything is set for the live stream happening in 1 hour. But that's going to wrap up. It wasn't even a boss rush. This was... This was more of a leisurely discussion once we were able to calm down about cool and interesting shit. Yeah.
For me anyway. I don't know about people listening to it.
Well, it could be because some of the people that are in the chat have known us for a long time, and so it's. Oh, look, it's just Chris and Mark rambling on about shit.
Like they do at conferences all the time.
We should do that. Maybe we should just do a separate hangout of just big old nerd nonsense. That's what we're going to call it.
B-O-N-N, big old nerd nonsense.
Yeah.
Bond.
Yep. Welcome to Bond, big old nerd nonsense.
Nerd nonsense.
I was thinking, I was thinking, man, what kind of podcast we should really start? There's nobody that's doing one for, or really, well, I shouldn't say there isn't anyone, but for like Gen X gamers, like, here's all the terminology you need to understand. Here are the games you need to make sure you understand, and this is kind of what's happening.
Yeah, the AARP games people are really into this kind of stuff now.
But that's the problem. I still have not. I'm not joining ARP. I'm not there.
Okay, I love them. I think they're great.
I do too. I think it's phenomenal. I think an older stat said something like 60% of the traffic to their site is for the games. It's awesome, right? It's crazy, but it also points to the fact that everybody likes to play.
That's what it is, right?
100%. 100%. Yeah. All right. Well, Mark, it's awesome to see you. Thank you, everybody that hung out. I'm glad we were able to.
Yeah. Always great to see y'all. Tony, let me know if I guess that watch isn't coming soon. But if you get it, let me know what you think.
Which one? Sony?
Tony's getting a
Tony is
watch and the phone as well. So I might get one.
Oh yeah. See, look, where the hell is that chat window?
We're talking on YouTube. I didn't see the LinkedIn one.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
well.
monitoring. That's what we need to do going forward, right? I'll monitor the LinkedIn one. You monitor the
YouTube one.
the other one there. Yeah, and Tony just popped over this. Said, "Have a nice weekend. I will miss next week due to Gamescom. I will not be at Gamescom."
Yeah.
And Monica Madrid posted a note about this on LinkedIn. She is not going. I'm not going because our kids are going to school. Not our kids, as in Monica's and mine. Her son, my son, are all going to
Heading
schools
off to school.
at different levels. So my son is going to Virginia Tech, and so we move him into his dorm next week. So I will be spending time doing that, and you all have a wonderful
enjoy that.
time at Gamescom. All right.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you. It's
Good to see
awesome as always. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome weekend. And we'll see you next week on Boss Rush. Thanks. Bye.